Hello, everyone. It's the end of August, and I'm going to do a new repaint of one of my students' work that he sent to me. I do online classes on Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to repaint this painting and describe what I did and why I did it. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share the painting and a picture of the scene. Okay, so the challenge here is there's a greenhouse with green around it. But the green of the house is a cool green compared to the warmth of the green around it. So I'm going to start maybe with a purple, and then later on I'll add some local color to it. But I'm going to start with that. Okay, so here I am. Might be a little bit too dark. Okay, so I'm just going to organize this. Okay, this is in shadow here. Make it a little bit bigger here. So this is a program that I use. It's called Art Rage. And I'm not going to get into any windows or doors yet because I want to just get the bigger notes. I'm going to go right through to here. This is a shadow. Okay, so now this trim is kind of a white in shadow. So I'm going to go to another color. It's going to be a little bit bluer. So I'm organizing lights and shadows. Okay, so this is in a little bit lighter. Okay, and then the roof, I'm going to maybe make a little bit oranger. And I'm going to have one color for both sides, even though I can see one's lighter than the other and cooler. But for now, I'm just going to organize these two. And then the shadow on the roof is a little bit darker and cooler. And then I'm going to go to the chimney, which is a red in shadow. And then the chimney in sunshine is going to be a little bit brighter. Okay. And then I'm going to also, let's see, on the side here, even though this is warmer here, I'm going to still have the same color for the side and the front. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the windows. And I see, which I think he had these pretty dark, so I'm going to make these pretty dark. And then the trim around it is white. So that's, and Henchy does say that white in shadow is some kind of blue. So I'm going to make that blue. Okay, so I've got it. This is in light here. And then there's a little bit of a shadow here, and then that's in light, that door part. Pretty light. Okay, so now the tree in the front, I'm going to go to like a magenta. Because it's darker than the house. Then the trees in the back, I'm gonna actually mix, I'm gonna mix this, this purple and some green back there. Well, that's good. Okay, so that's cool. It's darker than the house. Okay. So I'm just organizing lights and shadows, very simple. Okay, so now the front tree, I'm gonna make this maybe a little bit lighter. So I have a shadow and a light plane here. Okay, so now the house in light in this foreground here, I'm going to make it a little bit cooler. I'm going to mix this a little bit with some yellow, cad yellow. Okay, so now the bushes in the foreground here are also pretty close to the tree. They're dark. And then the brick in the back is, oh, I'm gonna make that shadow. Okay. Now this grass, I'm gonna actually mix some warmth in with this, but this grass here, I'm going to have like a cool blue, and then I'm gonna mix a little bit of warmth in with it. Okay, so now when I go to the light part, it's pretty light and it's cool. That might be too, so it's a little bit lighter than the tree. And the tree is, the bush here is also in light. And there's a light in the bushes over here. Maybe that's a little bit lighter. And then there's some kind of red flowers over here. I'm going to put those there, and then I'm going to come in with some bright red here. So I have a shadow. I'm organizing things in terms of light and shadow. Okay, so now I've got these bushes here also are in light and shadow. So what I find a lot of the times is I'm just simplifying how the students have started their paintings. Okay, so the back, I'm gonna, a little bit darker. I'm gonna mix this because it's cooler than the trees in the foreground. So I'm gonna start here, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of warmth to it. And mix those two together. Now, all of these can be changed, so I'm not getting too hung up on whether or not I'm getting the exact color, because I can always add colors or change what I put down there. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit warmer. Okay, so now so now the sky is a little bit lighter. So it's a pink, but I think it's a lighter sky. And later on, I'll add some blue to that. Okay, and then there's a building in the background there that's in shadow. And then there's this part is also in shadow. And then there's a light on the roof there. This is in light here. Then there's also that chimney back there. It's in light and shadow. Okay, now there's hang on. Okay, so there's something back here that's cool that I'm just gonna kind of put a blue back there just to hold this. So it stays in the shadow back there. Okay, so now I'm going to get to the shadow on the, it's kind of a, it's not grass, it's blue here. You've got like something that's gravel here that's blue. And then the tree trunk is probably going to be I'm going to get a little bit browner here. So here's the tree trunk. So now I'm going to go to the sidewalk that's pretty light and warm, which he has. Then I'm going to, right here, there's a little bit of shadow there. Okay. And then I'm going to make the street a little bit lighter and warmer. I mean, it's pretty good. He's got it warm, but I'm going to even warm it up a little bit more. Okay, so, oh, and then there's a roof that's in light right here. And then there's a shadow over here. And then there's some warm roof back here. Okay, so this is my first lay-in. So let's look at this. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some local color to some of the greens, which I would actually do if I was on location. So I'm going to add some green to these. And then maybe a kind of a transitional color between the light and the shadow. And then in the foreground, I'm going to add some green to this, a little bit darker. And then a transitional color. A little bit darker. Okay, so let's look at this. I'm going to toggle back and forth so we can look at this. Then there's some cool, a little bit cooler right here. There's some cool on top of there. Okay, so let's look at this. So see, that brings that, it looks more like, you know, the greens that are actually there. Okay, so now I'm going to add some some cool green to this purple here. Gets a little bit darker under here. And as we come out here, it gets a little bit lighter. And then it gets a little bit darker when we go back here. A little bit darker right under here and there. Okay, so now this it's pretty dark. This is a little bit darker back here. There's a window here. And then it gets darker, like right under here. Okay, so now I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go to the light part of it. I'm going to make this a little bit lighter. Right over here. Okay, so now I'm gonna, let's see, maybe make this a little bit yellower. And maybe a little bit cooler too. Okay, so the window, I'm going to put the window in. Okay, so this is the white and shadows here. And then the white in light. And then that window is actually in light. It looks dark, but I'm going to make sure that I make it light. And then as it goes into the shadow part, it's going to get darker up here. So I have a light and a shadow on the window. Okay, so now I'm going to get to the windows on the side. Okay, so we've got this here. And then those windows are pretty dark. And they're all in shadow, so. And then I can come in later on and clean all this up. Okay, so then there's a window back here that's probably going to be a little bit darker. Maybe a little bit lighter. And then there's that roof there. See, so now I'm going to like kind of the secondary, some of the detail. But I'm keeping everything organized in terms of a light and shadow. Okay, and then there's the shadow right here as it goes in, as they're recessed. Okay, so now, let's see. That roof in the back, I'm going to make it less warm here. Okay. Then there's probably a little bit of a light on that building, maybe just at the top here. I'm thinking. Okay, so we've got that. So let's go back and forth again. Okay, so I think I'm going to start. Well, let me maybe go into the sky, and I'm going to make the sky maybe a little bit bluer, because I start the skies out with warm, and then I can always come in later on and, you know, put the blue in and keep the warmth of the sky. And then maybe I'll make that side of the building, the side of the roof, a little bit cooler here. And maybe, let's see. I'm gonna come in here, maybe make this, it's a little bit, has a little bit of warmth to it. So then I can come in and add some warmth to these colors here. That might be a little, okay, so let's go back and forth. So see how I've organized, simplified, and what I find is students usually complicate things. You want to start out with getting it the big notes, and then later on you can start coming in with some smaller pieces. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to stop the share, and I'm on my way to Austin, Texas on Friday. I'm shooting a video for Streamline. So it's really a comprehensive video. I'm really excited about it. It's everything that I've been teaching for the last 35 years. So it should be out probably the first of the year. So I'll let everybody know when that comes out. But anyway, thanks for listening. And I will probably record another one of these probably in middle October, because I'm going to be out of town the whole month of September. But thanks for watching, and subscribe if you can, and I'll see you in October. Thank you.